Good morning. I'm Barbara Voss, the Unity in Lynnwood prayer chaplain for this morning. When we practice mindfulness meditations, we are using our power of attention and our breath. As we move into self-compassion meditations, we can use the power of our connections, the connection to others and a connection to the compassionate part of ourselves. Today, get comfortable in your chair. If you choose, close your eyes. Find your breath within your body and practice the mindfulness of breathing. Let your body breathe itself while you feel the energy move with each in and out breath. Notice where your body may have some discomfort, whether it is spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical. Focus your breath on that part of you. If you want to visualize yourself holding or hugging that part of yourself that has some discomfort, do so. As you hold yourself, repeat in your mind any of these words of friendship to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. May I be filled with God's loving kindness. Continue to wish yourself well as you bask in the energy of loving kindness. So I'll read these words of friendship to yourself again. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. May I be filled with God's loving kindness. Continue to wish yourself well as you bask in the energy of loving kindness. And as you continue to have a friendship with yourself, remember these words. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. May I be filled with God's loving kindness. As you return to this space, notice your breath. Reach up and lightly touch your eyes. Notice your feet on the floor. Open your eyes, holding the experience of loving kindness. We welcome our church family into our celebration. We know that divine grace and love greets and unfolds everyone here today, both inside as well as those surrounding our building and through the world. We bless and are grateful for everyone serving today. We especially give thanks for the blessings of the spoken word through Dr. Richard and the inspiration of our music ministry led by Matthew Wilson. Thank you. Amen.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
For today's opening reflection, I would like to offer a reading from the Daily Word, which is a Unity publication offered every month, and it's filled with inspiring readings, stories, poems, positive affirmations, and daily meditations, and I'll be reading today's. So if you'd like to close your eyes and let's take a breath together. Practicing gratitude deepens my experience of prosperity. My life may be filled with blessings. My family and friends, my home, my memories, and my experiences. But it can be easy to take for granted if I focus more on what I'm missing rather than what I have. Being thankful, expressing my gratitude for my good, opens my heart, but it also opens my eyes to the many ways I am prosperous. I count my blessings, pausing to give thanks for each one. The more often I do this, the more feelings of gratitude will fill my heart, crowding out constricting feelings of scarcity, fear, or envy. From the serenity I feel in my heart to the peace that calms my mind, I am prosperous. As I greet each day, as I greet this day, with a prayer of thanks, my blessings abound. And so it is.
Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my secret source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. You brought the sunshine with you. That's awesome. If you'll stand as you are able and greet one another.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. I'm so glad that everyone is here today. Everyone who's joining us here in our physical sanctuary, as well as those of you who are joining us online. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. My name is Ken Uri, and I'm a longtime member of this amazing community, and I'm also thankful to be your welcome host today. Here at Unity, we aren't here to convert you from any one thing to any other one thing. We are here simply to explore ancient truths as well as new ideas. The ancient universal truths that are found in our world's faith traditions and recognizing the new ideas that are emerging, showing up in real life today. That is what we're exploring. In this place, you will hear us recognize that there is a life stream of good always flowing, and that we are the hands and feet of that life, creating our world always divinely supported with a new beginning offered every single morning. Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood.
So next week, we'll be joined by Becca Palm. She's an amazing musician, if you haven't heard her, and she will be joined by our UIL band as well. And we decided to do a little Dolly Parton for you today. I'm going back to my Southern gospel roots, Tennessee gospel.
It's been a long, dark night. I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight, but I see a brand new day dawning. I've been looking for the sunshine. You know, I ain't seen it in so long. Everything's gonna work out just fine. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright. that's been all wrong. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright, gonna be okay. It's been a long, long time since I've known the taste of freedom and those clinging vines that had me bound. Well, I don't need 'em, no. I've been like a captured eagle. You know, an eagle's born to fly. Now that I have won my freedom, like an eagle, I am eager for the sky. But I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day.
How can you stay seated?
I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright, gonna be okay. Yes, I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Yes, and everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Gonna be okay.
All right. We even have a welcome host who plays percussion. Thank you so much.
This is year number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Fifth annual hands-on housing.
For the most part, number 5 here. We've nowhere near as difficult. We know what we're doing. Teams work. We have most of our supplies, so it's gotten much easier over the years.
Our homeowner this year is Mary Lee Ruark. She is such a gracious and compassionate host for us at this year's Hands-On Housing. When we first talked to Mary Lee about the program, she basically said, Daniel, team, there are so many other homeowners that are so much more needful than I am. That hit us right at home, and we knew at that point that she was probably going to be our candidate for this year's Hands-On Housing. She is kind, she's joyful, she's got spirit in her heart, and she's been sharing that with everybody on the project this year.
I have lived here, let's see, I'm trying to figure it out. Rick was 10, which meant I was 40, and now I'm going to be 81. So that's, what's that, 41 years?
Yeah. This has been her home for 40 years, and she hasn't been able to see the backyard for the last 5 or 6.
Is when going over that curb, I broke my femur bone, and that was 4 years ago, and as you can see, I still can't walk. And Rick, you know, he's got 3 kids and a wife and a job, and his wife has a job and everything else, and it just, there's no way we could keep it down. We kept trying. The boys would come over and do what they could do and stuff, and yeah, I don't know, I look out there and where did all that come from?
And now she's going to have this lovely cleared space. So it's amazing. Your family has really shown up today. Your son and his kids, they have been up on ladders and hauling wheelbarrows and chopping down trees.
Yes, they're all really great. I'm the only surviving grandma, by the way. So
She is a very kind person. She's always been teaching us how to do things, like showing us the right way, how to do everything. She taught me how to embroider.
Our grandma has been so kind to us. I couldn't ask for more from her. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this for her. She's a really wonderful woman, and I don't know what we would do without her.
they're very sweet.
They certainly love you, and as all of us have come to love you too.
Thank you.
It's nice to see post-COVID, our helpers, our volunteers are getting larger and a lot of new faces. So that's probably been the best part of this for me today.
I'm always in the garden in some way, shape or form, weeding, clipping, doing whatever needs to be done to make the garden look like a garden should look. And I have a lot of fun doing it.
I repaired some flooring in our kitchen and repairing a deck and you know, just giving some help where I could in other parts of the project. And so yeah, it's been a great time. Another one down, number 5.
We did a lot of brush cleanup in this yard, and we're gonna haul it all off to recycle and have them make compost out of it.
Oh, I think one of my favorite moments is watching everyone from young to old haul out huge pieces of bamboo and brush to create this enormous pile that is being taken to the dump. And this is like our 3rd or 4th run. So it's amazing to watch people just chip in and do something they probably have never done before. Who has carried long branches of bamboo?
For my first house that I owned over in Bothell, had it painted yellow, and I always liked it. And Rick and Julie, their house is yellow too, and they're over in Lynnwood. So yeah, I just thought, you know, for the golden years.
Yes, when she found out she was chosen, the first thing she said was, there are so many people more worthy and of more need than I am. And that was one of the things that made our hearts just fill with joy, because she was so grateful and so ready to offer this to someone else, you know, and yet she so deserves to have this done for her, and she's such a lovely, lovely person.
Yeah, we're so grateful that all of you are helping clean up this house.
I'm happy with it, just halfway finished. Really, I am. Words cannot say enough.
I understand Marilee would like to offer a few words to this ensemble.
And that's why he's holding this. Make sure it is only a few words. Well, basically, I always get emotional when I think about what you people have all done for me. And son had to talk for me last time, but he says he's not going to do it this time. Right. I have to do it. So, yeah, I just, my heart is blessed filled with love for all of you. And a couple of interesting things happened around that time. I got a letter from my insurance company, which I've had since I was like 18 years old, telling me that if I didn't fix, this was before I even knew about you guys, that if I didn't fix all of these problems, they were going to come out and raise my premium and everything else that I have to do. So, and it said I had to send either other receipts or pictures. So I know Walayn's got lots and lots of pictures. And so I can hardly wait to send all of it back to them. Thank you. And the other, is Michael here today? Michael? Michael and I picked out that color, and I have to tell you, Michael in particular, that when a friend of mine we'd gone to get my driver's license, which renewed, which it turned out it's not really due until the year 24. So she was coming to show me, she knew where the church was and everything. And we're going up this main road, I don't know if it was 160 something or something. And here is this huge, huge house, the same color yellow as mine. We are starting a tradition. But I just, it will remain with me always, what you all have done for me. So I thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. I agree. And let's extend that thanks beyond our gracious recipient to the leadership team of Hands on Housing and to the many volunteers. Will you express gratitude to them? And let it not go unsaid, an acknowledgement to Nathan and Cameron, and to Nathan who produced that video this year. If you are a member of our virtual audience this morning, please feel free to identify your geography, give us a first name, allow our social media host to welcome you, allow the other members of the virtual sanctuary to welcome you this morning. I'd like you to be aware, the property to our north, that's this way, the property to our north is being developed as townhomes. We consider this to be really good news in many ways. However, we want you to know this in advance, that the hedgerow between our property and theirs will be removed. It will be replaced with a beautiful stone wall that will run the entire length of the property line, and beautiful new landscaping. That will start tomorrow morning. I don't want you to be surprised next Sunday and to send me emails on Monday. Please be patient, have faith. It will be beautiful. Welcome to Pascaline and John in Uganda and Karen in Poulsbo and Marlene, Ursula, Judy, Meredith, Lori Crane, and others. If you're a member of our physical sanctuary today and you are willing to extend that unique Unity in Lynnwood brand of welcome to our virtual sanctuary this morning, turn to this camera and simply repeat after me. We see you today. We see the highest truth of you. We see the noble possibility of you. We stand with you. We stand for you. And so it is. Today I offer the fifth of 6 statements designed to bring our short mission statement into greater specificity. The fifth statement reads as follows: we actively seek and enthusiastically include truths from all great spiritual traditions. Take our words of invocation in the manner best suited to you today. Whether reading them enthusiastically or quietly, or simply closing your eyes and perhaps having the sense that the words are having their way with you as we begin, though imaged and named variously. There is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And so it is. The phrase daring greatly, it comes from a speech given by Teddy Roosevelt, sometimes called the man in the arena. This speech was delivered in Paris in 1910, and the passage that gives it that name begins, and I quote, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the one who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, at least fails while daring greatly." End quote. Brene Brown opens her book by speaking into this passage, and I quote, "The first time I read this, I thought, now this is vulnerability. Everything I've learned from over a decade of research on vulnerability has taught me this exact lesson. Vulnerability is not knowing victory or defeat. It's understanding the necessity of both. It's engaging. It's being all in. It's not the critic who counts. It's not the person who points out the stumbles. It's the one who's actually in the arena. It's being all in. Today is an introduction to our fall program. It's a study of this vulnerability as set forth in Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly. There are 20 copies available in UIL's book and gift shop. Did you know that you can reserve your copy before you stand by visiting unityinlynnwood.org and clicking on the Shop and Eat button? The Shop and Eat button, yes, the Shop and Eat button. If you have not perused the website of late, you are missing some really cool resources. Now, program booklets will be made available at the Welcome and Information Station on October 15th. And for our virtual participants, on the printables page of the website. The printables page, yes, the printables page. If you haven't perused the website of late, you are missing some really cool resources. So October 15th allows you 2 weeks to buy your book, to jump into that first reading assignment. Maybe you invite a friend or two to the opt-in, opt-out discussion group of your choice. Starting October 15th, these groups will occur every Sunday. You don't have to write this. We will make it available. These groups will occur every Sunday following service, on site and via Zoom, every Monday at 9 o'clock a.m. via Zoom. No on site at 9 o'clock a.m. on a Monday, you understand. Every Wednesday at noon on site, I will facilitate that one. Registration for the groups will open next week. The series will close on Thanksgiving Eve, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. We will celebrate our newfound wisdom over delicious homemade pie provided by you. We will provide ice cream and whipped cream. All are warmly welcome. I have to wonder if Brene Brown's words really serve as the best introduction. She writes, and I quote, "Join me as we explore the answers to the questions. What drives our fear of being vulnerable? How are we protecting ourselves from vulnerability? What price are we paying when we shut down and disengage? And how do we own and engage with vulnerability so we can start transforming the way we live, love, parent, and lead?" 7 weeks of vulnerability. This will be fun. Now, I'd like to begin with Roosevelt's critics. I won't spend a lot of time with them because I don't think that's really the heart of her teaching. You're welcome, crew. But I'd like to start with those critics, and I derive deep comfort from Roosevelt's words because he said that they don't count. Now, that's not to say that they don't count as people. It's not to say they aren't worthy of love. It's not to say that they aren't deserving of friendship. It's not even to say that they aren't purveyors of wisdom. It is to say that when you are on the field of your life, you will get to figure out a space for those who stand in the arena with you, faces marred by dust and sweat and blood, and you'll get to figure out a space for those who stand on the sidelines around you, hands completely free from grit, callus, stain. I'm comforted by these words. I was privileged to get to figure out a space for a former minister. Now, I don't know anything about this person's past successes, past failures. I was privileged to get to figure out a space for a former minister who chose a very public meal as the perfect context to offer, let's say, their wisdom on my leadership. Perfect place. And I think it's a pretty close paraphrase when I recall the closing words. Yeah, knowing what I know now, I would be a huge success. And it might be true. Who knows? It might be true. And yet I'm reminded of today's introduction. When you're on the field of your life, you'll get to figure out a space for those who stand in the arena with you and for those who stand on the sidelines around you, because you will experience both. And as I prepare to watch an afternoon of NFL football, maybe I'm reminded to take note when I'm the one standing on the sidelines, offering my rather robust brand of wisdom to those who are on the field. Now, were I to distill Brene Brown's introduction into something concise for your convenience, it might go something like this. A fully realized life requires vulnerability. A fully realized life requires vulnerability. And yet, if we're honest, we know we spend a lot of energy clamoring for the false security of the sidelines, where we can imagine ourselves to be beyond the reach of loss and pain, failure, disappointment. In relationships, it might sound something like this: I am done with men. I am done with men. I'm pulling myself off the market. I will never go through another loss like this. And off to the sidelines we go. In self-expression, it might sound something like this: I have a dream, but honestly, I've tried it before. I have fallen on my face, and I do not desire to repeat that experience. I will stick with my predictable mediocrity, thank you. And off to the sidelines we go. You yourself know that you have used that tired, old dinnerware because you don't want to break the good stuff. Off to the sidelines. You know that you have withheld something because you don't believe another person can handle your truth. You don't want the mess. Off to the sidelines. One MO for me has been to hold a little something back. After all, if I hold a little something back, I won't ever have to experience the full vulnerability of any failure. I'll never be responsible, you see. It's the 5% I held back that's responsible. Off to the sidelines go I. Matthew and I talk about this with our Hugo. Now, for anyone who has ventured into the realm of social media in any 7-minute window, you have likely met Hugo. I am indeed that parent. Hugo is our four-legged Anatolian mix. He's smart, he's funny, he's demanding and stubborn. And Matthew and I, we know that dog bodies don't last as long as people bodies. We know this, and we dread that ultimate truth of all earthly relationships, that at this level of reality, we come together, that ultimately we will go apart. And our conversation goes something like this: that's gonna sting, it's gonna sting, it's gonna hurt. So let us invest so fully. Let us love so deeply that when we find ourselves facing that ultimate truth, it will sting and it will hurt, but we will be able to say, it was worth it. It was worth it. We resist the temptations of the sidelines. From the mythological teachings as drawn from the Jewish tradition, it's been said that we started in a perfect unity, a garden, if you will. Now, of course, in the context of these writings, a garden complete with running water and food would have been a great symbol for an ultimate reality. Now, these early teachers weren't making a rudimentary attempt to explain the origins of life. They were not pretending to be scientists. They were seeking to discuss universal questions. And you know the questions because you have asked them. What am I? What am I? Why am I here? How shall I live? And so forth. We started in a perfect unity. And as you know, the two characters were told they could eat from any tree except the tree of good and evil, at which point the two characters did what any parent knew the two characters were destined to do. They ate of the tree of good and evil, and they died. They died from that level of reality into this level of reality in which we experience the dualities of good and evil, up and down, hot and cold, beginning and ending. They died from that level of reality. The teaching even references putting on suits of skin. How did we miss that? They died from that level of reality of perfect unity into this level of reality in which we experience the dualities of great loves and great losses, soaring triumphs and agonistic defeats. This teaching story, take a deep breath. This teaching story wasn't about some fall of humanity any more than it was about science. It's the story of what it means to be here now at this level of reality, a level of reality defined by comparison and contrast. It's the story of Eve's courageous and inevitable choice, not so much a disobedience to God as an allegiance to soul. This teaching story does not tell of your flawed nature or your inherent sinfulness or our fallen humanity. You are warmly welcome this morning. It speaks of your courage and your divine origin and, yes, our courageous choice for the vulnerabilities of an incarnate experience. We strapped on those suits of skin, and we, in a sense, died into the amazing arena that is a full human experience. and someday we will die into another arena. I think this is an important conversation for those of us in traditions such as ours. We love the light, don't we? We love the light, and we abhor the shadow. For some, then, life becomes about trying to control and dominate the world out there, that we might control our experiences of light and shadow in here. But I don't think that's it. I think life is about becoming containers so broad, about becoming containers so deep that we become capable of holding both the light and the shadow of a human incarnation with equal grace. If we look to the lives of any of our avatars, our seers, our gurus, we do not see lives lacking in challenge. They weren't able to control the world out there that they might circumvent every inconvenience. We see souls so broad and so deep that even their challenges were integrated into stories which we are still telling today. A fully realized life requires vulnerability. Now, if you don't believe me, and you don't have to believe me, welcome to Unity. Welcome to Unity. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me because I'm not here to do your work. You are. If you don't believe me, let's consider it from a different angle. When you think back over your life's sweetest moments, whether those moments were made sweet by love or by accomplishment, change, growth. When you think back over your life's sweetest moments, can you find one that didn't require vulnerability? Let's take a breath together. Let us close the outer eyes for such important questions, and let us call to mind one such sweet moment. Let's just call it to our mind's eye. Whether that moment was made sweet by love or accomplishment, a change, some form of growth. What was the vulnerability? And maybe allowing my voice to serve as your own, we address that image by acknowledging I experienced vulnerability and now I'm safe. Maybe we allow another sweetest moment to come to mind. Whether born of love or change, it matters not. Holding it on the screen of our minds. Was there a vulnerability? maybe as my voice acknowledges, I experienced vulnerability, you might be willing to respond by saying, and now I'm safe together, and now I'm safe. Perhaps a third image, a sweet moment. Was there a vulnerability? Holding the image, allowing it to be. Yes, I experienced vulnerability. And now I'm safe together. And now I'm safe. Again. And now I'm safe. And one last time. And now I'm safe. We allow the eyes to reopen. Take a breath together. It's the privilege of a lifetime to be with you. It is the highlight of my week. As I like to say, to bask in the noble depths of you. So I offer thanks this morning. I offer thanks to each one of you for giving me a personal gift that is beyond words to describe. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Maybe it can be suggested as we embark upon this 7 weeks of vulnerability. Maybe it can be suggested that we didn't make the courageous choice for the vulnerabilities of an incarnate experience only to show up and chicken out. That's a phrase we used in elementary school. Vulnerability, it's what we signed on for. And for 7 weeks, take a deep breath, for 7 weeks, baby, we're gonna practice together. And so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. It scares me a little. Anyone else? One essential aspect, but inspires as well. Yes, yes, yes. One essential aspect of being a part of a growing community is the chance we have to give financially in support of this good that we experience together. You've seen from our hands-on housing video and of that event all that can be accomplished when we come together in service of a really big idea. And so it is today that we are grateful for your financial gifts in support of this really big idea called Unity in Lynnwood. You'll see the giving options appear on your screen. If you'd like information about UIL's programs of regular giving, plan giving, or legacy giving, please write Dr. Richard directly. And for those already participating in UIL's Giver Circle, a program of regular giving, we extend a special thanks. Now please join me in our affirmation as it appears on the screen. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Well, I have several announcements to share with you this morning, but before I get to that, I want to draw your attention to the resources in the seat back in front of you and call special attention to the Stay in Touch card. If you are new or newer or your contact information has changed, just go ahead and fill that out and then bring it back to me after the service at the Welcome and Information Station, and we'll be sure to get you on our list for our e-newsletter that comes out just a couple times a month to keep you current on everything happening here at Unity in Lynnwood. Also, you heard me in our opening reflection read from the Daily Word. If you come back to the Welcome and Information Station after service, I'd love to give you this gift, or you come to our Soul Things gift shop where you can get this gift there if you are new or newer. And this is a special edition of the Daily Word, so you can find those inspirations in there, and also you can sign up for a subscription for that if you'd like as well. Every Sunday, we like to say hello to anyone who might be visiting us for the first time. And if you could just put your hands in the air, I will give you some applause, as will everyone else. So anyone here for the first time? Yes, nice to see you. Nice to see you. We're always glad to say hello to anyone who might be joining us for the first time. And all of us are certainly welcome to come to the Friendship Hall after service for some good food, beverage, and some continued conversation. Now, our invitations, and please register for all these events by visiting our website at unityinlynnwood.org and going to the calendar page and then just signing up, and you get a confirmation that you're signed up for the event. And if you have a compliment or a comment, please write, "We listen" at unityinlynnwood.org. We are here for you. Please consider the offerings of UIL's small group ministry as they appear on your screen. You can also find information for all of these offerings on our website and in our e-newsletter. Join UIL's Board of Trustees for the annual business meeting on October 15th, as set forth in ministry bylaws. Celebrate accomplishments, elect trustees, enjoy updates, and stay for conversation during the town hall conclusion. Please be reminded that full financial reporting is offered in January in alignment with UIL's fiscal year. It's been written that the natural order of things knows how to support its creation. So the question becomes, are you cooperating with the natural order of things or frustrating the natural order of things? Facilitated by Dr. Richard and Michelle Van Eyck, join us for Adult Education's Prosperity, 5 Tuesdays starting this Tuesday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. And finally, please welcome UIL Chairperson, Dr. Jennifer Lovejoy, to the platform.
Boy, that is just a thing with this microphone. Okay. So by now, hopefully most of you, if not all of you, have heard about our annual fundraising gala on October 13th, Lucky 13. You can see there on the screen. For those of you who've been before, this is a great party. This is a lot of fun. We're going to have a social hour. We're going to have a fabulous Italian dinner. We just chose our entrees last week, and boy, it was hard to pick from the good options that we have available. And then there's going to be a very fun event with gambling, casino games, and then a DJ and dance. So it's a packed evening and a lot of fun. So it is also limited to a certain number of people, tickets that we can accommodate, and they are selling fast. So if you have not already bought your ticket, please do go online and do that today, just to get things going. So while this is a great party, the other thing, of course, is this is our most important annual fundraiser. And we have decided this year to dedicate the proceeds from this to the repair of our 20-year-old HVAC system, which even as we speak is already being worked on because several of the units have decided to go south. We are very blessed right now that for the first time in my memory of being at this church, we actually have financial reserves. And that was due to some very wonderful work on Dr. Richard's part and identifying some pandemic-related refunds from the federal government that we were able to access as a nonprofit organization. We don't want to spend all of our reserves paying for air conditioning, as wonderful as it is. So it would be fantastic if everyone could come out and support this important effort to help us maintain our reserves, pay for our air conditioning so next summer we can be nice and cool and have a really great time while you're at it. Thank you so much.
I'm so fortunate to work with this board of trustees. I'm so fortunate. Having some purview of church life beyond these walls, I would like you to know how fortunate you are, how fortunate we are to have such an enlightened, principled, cooperative board of trustees. I just want to say that. How fortunate we are. And so you have the Reverend Dr. Jennifer Lovejoy, who does keyboards and speaks. You have Ken Urie, who welcomes, and welcome to his first Sunday in the band, apparently. Ken Urie and the band. Today is Newcomer Potluck Sunday. That means if you are new, you brought lunch. No, it does not mean that. It means if you are new, those who have been with us for a while have provided lunch. Please know that you are warmly welcome across the hall in Friendship Hall to simply enjoy a fun lunch with really awesome people. And that is the only agenda of the day. It's the only one. Good food, good people. Take a deep breath with me, won't you? Let us close with that same technology with which we began. We call it prayer. It matters not what you call it. In fact, it is a discipline designed to do a work in consciousness that can be done beyond the bounds of any religious tradition. What we call prayer is a vehicle for a work in consciousness. And so we close the outer eyes that would tell us such partial truths about who we are, about what life is, about separation, partiality, about the nature of soul. We close those eyes then that we might see more correctly. And that is something of a life that exists at the heart of us. Something of a sufficiency that is ample to the authentic workings of the eternal self. It's been articulated as something of a grace. Others have said it is love. Love. And as we give rise to a remembering of this essential nature in a moment of sweetness, and as we contemplate reopening those human eyes, we necessarily make a commitment for whatever realization I might have experienced. Now we carry it forth. What we call prayer then becomes not the exception. It reminds us of a way of being, a way of seeing, a way of engaging, a way of moving through earthly life that is informed by that love, informed by that grace, informed by the assuredness of the life that resides at the heart of us. This is how we move through our day then. And so we become a people of eager anticipation. Now that we have relinquished our need to do it all, be it all, make it happen, force it, coerce it, push, we now become a people of anticipation. How will a universe that knows what it's doing support me today? And we close our time together as we always do with sung words of blessing, sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure
Now, merrily, if someone were to want to come up and say